Now, Apple became the first stock in the world to be worth more than 2 trillion this week. So it's now worth more than Saudi Aramco and Amazon are not that far behind now. So this is an incredible thing. And what lessons can we learn from this episode? And is Amazon a good stock to invest in the future, and indeed Apple? So first of all, when it comes to Apple, a lot of tech people don't like Apple. In my network, when I talk to people, including good friends, most of the IT geeks, most of the incredibly knowledgeable people I know about IT do not like Apple compared to Android. However, Apple make things easy to use, but they make it hard for you if you stop using their product. Now think about that. They make it easy for you to buy things on their store and easy to use their product, but if you stop using their product, they make it hard for you. And this is a key business lesson. It isn't always the best products or services that win, but convenience is key. You can have the best product or service in the world, but if you make it too hard to use that particular solution, nobody would use it. Like, let's face it, right? If Apple were bringing out $500 iPhones, which were much superior to the iPhones they have now, but only IT geeks could really use them, they're not going to become a big company, or they would be much less than they are now. So that's a very key important lesson. Beyond that, Apple are fantastic when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, of course. Now, if Apple and Amazon were going around preaching to people, door-to-door selling or whatever, even if their products were better than they are today, it's very unlikely they would actually be as big as they are now. What they've actually focused on is creating this image, as opposed to shoving, a message down people's throats. And third, it really shows that we are moving more and more towards a digital world. Now, people who have, watched my videos before, I've been preaching about this now for a very long time, even before the lockdown. We're very much moving towards a digital online world now. We're increasingly doing everything online. There's a percentage of people, all age groups now, who just do everything online. They just Google whenever they want any product or service. They buy things online. And the days of just using eBay and Amazon like in 2005, 2010, those days are over. Now, a lot of people on all ages want to do everything online. So a lot of people are saying the tech valuations are crazy or whatever. And what I would say is I don't really recommend people buy individual stocks if they're not a professional investor. So I'm not going to recommend you buy Apple. But one thing I would say is this. I don't know the future and you don't know the future. But one thing I'm absolutely convinced about is this. In another 20 years' time, the big tech companies, whatever they are, they might be new big tech companies in the same way that Netflix didn't exist 20 years ago. But the big tech companies, and indeed the biggest companies in America and the world, will be far bigger than they are today for a simple reason. What I talked about before. Now, if you think about it, in the world we live in today, there's still a few people, old-fashioned people. Sometimes they're older, or sometimes they're living in parts of the world where, the internet's still not a big thing, and there are still about 1 billion or 2 billion people, I believe, in the world who don't have internet connections. But if you think about it, as time is going on and the world is gradually getting wealthier, more high income, even though coronavirus has affected that short term, and to put it crudely, as more, obviously, old people are going to die and more young people are being brought up with technology, we are going to reach a point in the next 20 or 30 years where internet penetration gets close to 100% all around the world. So right now, the number of people doing everything online, including whatever banking, whether it's financial advice, law, it's already increased exponentially. 15 years ago, we'd only buy small things on the internet, like on eBay. Now, at least 20 or 30% of people I know just do everything online. They don't want to do things face-to-face or whatever. But that figure is only going to go higher and higher and higher. And of course, big tech will take over some of those startups to fail. So I don't know if Amazon or Apple or Netflix are going to be as big as they are today in 20 years. They might be or they might not be. Historically, today's winners in the stock market eventually are tomorrow's losers. However, I'm convinced that in 20, 30 years, big tech is going to make today's big tech look small. Okay, everyone, I've got some really exciting news today. So for a couple of years now, many people have asked me, well, look, I can't afford your minimum investments, but I really like your advice. I don't know if you can do this or you can do that, or you can help me in that way, or you can't help me in that way. I've always said, no, I can only do this or that. But I've got some really exciting news, and that's that in a couple of months before the end of the year, I will be bringing out what I'm calling the Adam Fayed Academy, which will have many new areas which will be of interest to people. So things like mentoring, tutoring, all those kind of things that people have asked me for in the past. So stay tuned. I'm going to be announcing it in the next few months, but I thought I'd tell it to you guys before. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you're looking for in this academy. We're going to be focusing on many different areas, including how to invest productively, also some business areas, because that's another thing people have asked me about before. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you up to date.